Hello guys, this is Benedek here, very welcome to my channel. In today's episode I'm going to deal with mono behaviors again, and now I would like to open up the Unity hub and open up our project, and yesterday we created controller script for our little cube, and we have seen how to rotate it. Now actually I would like to show you how to stop and restart the rotation of our little cube. Now I'm gonna open up the simple 3D tutorial game because that's our project. And here we go. Okay, Unity is just started up, and now you can see there is our little cube, and there is the button we created yesterday. Now if I hit play, then nothing will actually happen. We will enter the game mode soon, and it is, as you can see, rotating, and we can click that button, but nothing happens because no script is attached to this button. So if I go and select the button in the hierarchy, in the inspector panel, I can see the different components assigned to this button game object. Here is something called button script. It's a component, and it has a little segment OnClick. Now OnClick is basically an event, or it can contain actually a list of events which should execute at the time this button is clicked. Now you can see the list is currently empty, and we can add the new list item, a new behavior to execute with this plus sign. But first we need to create our script, and via script we should just tell Unity what to do when this button will be clicked. So I'm going to the scripts folder, and I'm creating a new C# script called stop and start rotation, like that, but you can call it whatever you want. And I open it up by double clicking it. It will open up in Visual Studios, and after it will be ready, then we can just move on. Okay, here we go. Now it is looking exactly the same as the previous one yesterday when we received it. So this is just a simple mono behavior. I'm gonna get rid of the unnecessary things here. Actually, I will not. Yes, I won't need the update and the start functions, so I'm just deleting them, and I would like to specify a custom function. Yes, so I'm gonna go for public static void, and actually no need to be static, so public void, and let's say something like rotate on and off. So we are creating a new method. Public actually just means that it is accessible in the entire application. Void means we don't need to return anything from here, but if you don't understand what returning means, then let's check out my upcoming object-oriented programming concepts tutorial. Now rotate on and off, actually the name we would like to call when the button will be clicked. But now I have to tell how to stop that rotation and how to restart it again. Now just open this rotate cube script up. That's the one we created yesterday. Here the void update method, which is called at every frame we are just rotating our cube, but we should specify a condition. So first we need to create something called a boolean, or just simple a bool can contain two types of data, I mean two values, either true or false. So public bool is rotation enabled, and by default I will set it to false. Now here in the update method I would like to specify a condition, and if condition, and I will just put it there. Okay, like that. So actually I only want to happen this, so I only want this to happen when the is rotation enabled is equals true. Uh, in If it's not true, I don't want it to rotate. Okay, but by default it won't be enabled since I set it to false. So I need to interact with this variable. Now a variable is just a container of some values which we can interact with. Now because I set it to public, now I can interact with it even from the other behavior, from the stop and start rotation script. Here I can say something like so first I have to reference the object's name, and then I'm able to uh, do something like this. So I just because it's a public class and it's a public variable, so I am just so I just want to set it to true. If it's false, of course, and if it's false, I will set it to true. So I wanted to, I would like to toggle the values, and else. So in case it's true, I would like to set it to false. It's the very simple logic we have just created. So it will check whenever this method is called that if the rotate cube is rotation is false. Remember, by default we set it to false. So whenever this method will be executed, it will check if that value of this variable equals false. In case it does, then it will set it to true, and in case it is actually true by default, it will set it to false when this method is called again. Okay, and remember, this is exactly the same variable. So this means the rotation will only happen when we allow it to do. And now we want this method to be called somewhere. Of course, as we remember, we have to call it by its name, so rotate on and off. And here, if I go to Unity, I go to the button on the hierarchy, and I just scroll down to the OnClick event, and now I hit the plus sign, and notice that here I have to specify an object. So these are the objects from the which are in the hierarchy. So I have to specify an object which has this script attached to it. So actually I need to attach this script to one of these game objects. I could just assign it to the main camera or to the directional light or whatever, but to keep everything nice and neat, I would like to create an empty game object. This is just a logical game object. It has nothing assigned to it, and it's invisible, but it's there. And now I can rename it by either right-clicking and renaming, or I can just alter a new name here, or If I hit F2 on my keyboard, I can say something like rotation starter and stopper. Okay, little bit weird name, but no worries. And I can just drag and drop my component, which I've just created, the start and stop rotation script. And here we go. If I'm dragging this object to here, which has a script assigned to it, then in this case I can go for searching that script, and I can assign the function of this script. So the name of the script is stop and start rotation, and rotate on and off is the method, the function we are going to use. So as you can see, there are actually many methods here in the game object and the transform section. These are provided by Unity by default, but here is the stop and start rotation, the name of the script attached to the game object. And here we can go for the method we have created, but I don't know why I cannot see. Probably because yes, here in the console we can see some errors here actually in the script we have just created. And if it says yes, so an object reference is required for this non-static field. When we are using this is rotation enabled in this script, it cannot really interpret it because we have to set it static here. So don't worry, I will explain why we need it later on, but for now just remember that it's best practice for us in case we are doing something like this to set it as static. Okay, now if I jump back to Unity, hopefully these error messages will be gone. Cool. Now I guess I can see the method. Yes, here we go, the rotate on and off. We can just select it, and now this method will be called whenever I hit that button. Okay, and it will check if this is false, it will set it to true, and in case it is true by default, it will set it to false. Okay, let's just try it out. And let's see if it works. Okay, cool. Now it's not rotating because we have specified a condition that we only rotate when it is enabled, and by default it is set to false. So that's that's the expected behavior. Now whenever I click it, it will start rotating, and if I click it again, it will stop. Cool. Now actually I would like to show you how to put in fonts to this Unity project. So let's go ahead and create a new folder called fonts, and you can just download any font from the Google Fonts or anything like this. I've just downloaded IndieFlower regular from the Google Fonts, and I'm just dragging and dropping this to the fonts folder, and here at the button I can open it up, and it is the child component, the text one. And now I can say something like when I hit that little circle, I can change it to my font, and now it's not visible because I guess it is too small. I'm in the button which contains it, so let's just enlarge it a little bit. Yes, and now we can see it, and the font is changed. Okay, now instead of saying button, let's say something like start or stop rotation. Cool. Now here we go. I guess that's good, and that will be working. Let's just hit play and try it out. And cool, if I hit that button, it will start the rotation, and if I hit it again, it will stop like this. Now, guys, thanks for watching. We will meet in the next video. If you liked my video, just please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next time. Bye.